Chris came back the next morning. He was just there, standing on CG's porch, smiling like he'd just popped out for a coffee, not like he'd been missing for days. It was the same smile he always wore, the one that crinkled the corners of his eyes. But something was off. The smile didn't quite reach his eyes this time. In fact, his eyes were what really unsettled her. They were too dark, like deep still pools of water with nothing reflected in them. Too still. When CG finally found her voice and asked where he'd been, where he'd gone, he just shrugged. That same easygoing gesture he always used, but his answer was a void. Nowhere, just that single word hanging in the air between them like a ghost. Nowhere. What did that even mean? CG tried to let it go, tried to convince herself she was just overreacting. He was back. That's all that mattered, right? He was safe. But the feeling of unease coiled in her stomach and refused to leave. That night, they went for a walk, their old routine. The streetlights cast long dancing shadows on the pavement. CG found herself watching them, a habit from childhood. She watched her own shadow stretch and shrink, then looked at his. He was walking a few steps ahead of her, and his shadow, it stretched long and thin under the yellow glow. Too long, way longer than hers, longer than any shadow should have been. It seemed to have a life of its own, an inky silhouette that didn't quite match his movements. A shiver traced its way down her spine. She called his name, her voice a little shaky. Chris stopped and turned to face her, bathed in the streetlight's glow. And for just a split second, a flicker of a moment so fast she almost thought she imagined it. The smile he gave her wasn't his own. It was wider, sharper, a predatory grin that didn't belong on his face. Then it was gone, replaced by his familiar, confused look. "What's wrong?" he asked, his voice laced with concern. But CG couldn't answer. She was staring at the man she loved, the man who had come back from nowhere, and realizing with a cold dawning horror that whoever or whatever was standing in front of her, it wasn't Chris. Thanks for watching, everyone. This story is just getting started, so if you want to find out what happens next, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We'll see you in the next one.